right, welcome to another live episode of Finding the Seams. That is the Reverend Brendan Haywood. I am Rick Bucher, and this is all about what's going on during the offseason in the NBA. And there's still a lot to talk about because we've covered the LeBron James going to Philadelphia. We've covered what the Philadelphia 76ers are or what we anticipate them to be. But I feel as if, Brendan, first of all, good to have you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Did we just get done with the workout?
That we did. We live. We coming in.
We're coming in very hot. Energy drink on point. Yeah, that's okay. So who knows where this is going to go?
I might
Thanks
say anything.
to all of you for joining us. If we're going to say the Philadelphia 76ers aren't everything that everybody's making them out to be, like they're the threat, they're going to be the new title contender in the East, then who is it that we should be talking about that is going to take that step? Who is the most meaningful team in the Eastern Conference? Because I do believe it is wide open.
I think the most meaningful team is obviously the defending champions. When you look at the New York Knicks, they have the chemistry. They have proven concept. They've proven that they can win it. They have Jaylen Brunson. You have Karl Anthony Towns. Now, obviously, they lost some players. They're gonna really miss Mitchell Robinson.
Yep.
But I think the New York Knicks right now have to be the favorites in the Eastern Conference, for sure.
I agree with that. And by the way, for all of you watching, we're aware of the flashing issue with my camera. I'm not sure what it is. We're attempting various things to resolve that. But based on what I've seen so far, I don't know that we've solved the problem just quite yet. May require getting a new camera. So just appreciate your patience and sticking with us. Brendan is so hopped up on energy drink right now, he has no idea that there's actually flashing going on my end. He's thinking that's just his normal vision. After
I see it. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I see it. Yeah, you keep flashing, but I don't know, man. Maybe you just got a faulty camera.
That may be, and we may need to change it up. But I appreciate that. Why are you so happy that I have a deficient device on my end?
Because normally I'm the one with the technical issues. So I'm glad it's not me for once.
I just thought we should explain that to the people because you obviously were enjoying the fact that I'm having technical difficulties. I agree with you. Appreciating what the New York Knicks did and what they are and the fact that they're not going away. I agree with you. Mitchell Robinson is a tough loss. I don't think it's any accident the Boston Celtics went and got Mitchell Robinson. I think they recognized the value of, I want to phrase this correctly, like, I don't want to say journeyman big men, workman-like big men, like the big man, the dirty work big man, the blue-collar big man has become a vital piece of every team that considers itself a championship contender. Obviously, you have to have that front line big, like a Karl Anthony Towns or a Victor Wembanyama. I'd still put Chet Holmgren in that category in spite of some of the questions that we have. But you also need that other guy, that Luke Cornett, that Mitchell Robinson, that Isaiah Hartenstein, if you're going to consider yourself a contender in today's game. And I think that the Boston Celtics recognize that. We're not going to go into Philadelphia again, but that's the one huge piece that they're obviously missing. And you can question who their front line center and his availability is at this point with Joel Embiid. So that to me is why I think there's any questions about the Knicks is that they did lose what we consider a vital piece, but they have all that collective experience now. And I don't put it past them to find somebody serviceable to fill that role at some point.
I don't know where Philly's going to get this big from. I'm not 100% sure. But on the Knicks side, we know that they have enough to win a championship. Yeah. Like I said, I love the parts that they have on this team. And then you got guys like OG Anunoby, of course, probably the biggest shot in Knicks history. They just got those guys that have been able to do it from a two-way standpoint. So I think the Knicks right now have to be the favorite. Boston would have been the favorite, but obviously we got to see what they look like without Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
I still like Detroit. I still think they need that secondary score. But, man, we talk about a team that plays defense and a true stud in Cade Cunningham. I think Detroit's going to be a really good team. I like the way they're built. I know Duran hasn't gotten his contract yet, and we'll see how that plays out. But I don't love them for finishing games in the playoffs, but in the regular season, I like what Miami's going to be able to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that I think have a shot to be really good regular season teams.
Yeah. No, the focus on Philadelphia, it's not that Philadelphia is not in the mix, but I see them in the mix with four or five other teams. I don't elevate them to above the teams that you mentioned, Miami, Detroit. Orlando, I'm intrigued by in terms of a new head coach and Sean Sweeney and what that's going to do for them. And can they stay healthy? And with a year with Desmond Bain, can they figure out
Won't matter.
Whether they can put it together?
The head coach won't matter.
Why won't it matter?
It's about Paolo.
Okay.
The head coach can't fix the fact that Paolo doesn't like to catch and shoot, and he likes to catch and hold. If Paolo has to become better.
I don't know about doesn't like. I would say isn't able to.
Okay, doesn't like, isn't able to. If Paolo has to get a lot better to where he can be ball dominant and average 30, or he's going to have to learn how to play off the ball a little bit more. And your coach can't. When we're talking about the best players on the team, your coach can't magically snap and make a guy that can't catch and shoot all of a sudden start catching and shooting.
Yeah.
The coach, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the problem with Orlando. When Paolo was out, they was winning games. And when he came back, he wanted to go back the other way. And the team was like, hey, now, say now. We've been winning games without you, big fella. Maybe we should switch this up a little bit. And that was evident. And Jamal Mosley was basically the guy that had to pay the price. So with Orlando, I think it comes down to Paolo Banchero. If you look up there and he's a better player, they got a shot. If not, they're going to be the same old Orlando.
I agree with that. But I do believe that they're, at this point, what Paolo is not a finished product. I think there's the capability of him developing. There's nothing about him physically that I don't think he can't develop that game. The big question is, what's he working on this summer? What's he going to come back with after what happened last year? And from what I know about him, I would be surprised if he doesn't come back with a different approach.
Why do you think that his game has been the same since I've seen him in high school? Why would you think that his game would be automatically different?
Because he's never been questioned like this before. He's never been doubted like this before. Hey, we saw LeBron James. LeBron James had the same game until he got to Miami. And then got humiliated in the finals and learned how to play below the free throw line. Played a different role. Stopped jacking threes. He changed. So I don't see why Paolo's not capable of doing the same thing. Nobody's ever asked him, to my knowledge, to change the way that he plays. And he became Rookie of the Year playing that way. He was the star at Duke playing that way. What has been the motivation up until now to change? He got paid a max contract. Why would he have had to develop in a different way? He's been getting all the rewards until now.
I'm glad you said that. And that's part of the reason why I'm not sure if he's going to change. Playing his way has worked very well for him. That way is not going to work as far as winning an NBA championship.
So are you saying this because because you always have a little more knowledge than you probably let on?
Who, me?
Usually your opinions and perspectives are informed by people that you've talked to or insight that you have. And I'm just wondering whether you have particular insight with anyone who is close to Paolo that makes you think that he is that way. Because I will tell you, I've talked to his parents, I've talked to his coaches, I've talked to his AAUP. He was in my book. So I've talked to a lot of the people around him. I do know that he's stubborn. His mother will tell you that. He's stubborn.
I never heard that at all.
Yeah. Okay. But I also know that when push comes to shove, I'll tell you what, if I could change this camera out right now, I apologize to all of you out there. I'm about ready to just flip it. In any case, there's a part of me that believes, there's a big part of me that believes that Paolo is capable of adapting. And you're not. You're a skeptic.
No. I think that when I look at, I want to make sure I got his age right. Paolo is 23. I'm not going to tell you a 23-year-old can't change.
Thank you.
I'm not going to tell you a 23-year-old change. But a lot of times for a 23-year-old to change, he needs to see the error in his ways.
Okay.
I don't know if Paolo has gotten there yet. So there's two things. Some guys, they get comfortable playing a certain way, and they don't like getting out of that comfort zone. Some guys are able to switch that. I don't know which guy he is just yet. What I'm saying is, when I watched him in high school, I'm like, man, that guy's good. And then when he got to Duke, I'm like, man, that guy's good. When he got to the league, I'm like, man, that guy's good. But his game has been the same since high school. Yeah. It's been catch, hold, jab, jab. Then I get into a move, dribble, bounce, pump. Like, if you're going to be that ball dominant, you can't average 22 points per game and shoot 30% from three. If you're going to be mega ball dominant, you got to be Luka.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to be a super ball dominant player, can't average 22. We ain't winning like that. If
it's
you're
not only 22. You got to make everybody else better.
Okay, yeah, you got to make everybody else better. But if you're going to be mega ball dominant, you got to be one of them ones. All I'm saying is I'm not sure if one summer is enough for him to go from what I saw last year to one of them ones. Now, maybe 2 years from now, I might be able to say that. But right now, Orlando, pretenders.
Honestly, the team that I think that we really should be talking about, because they are the most intriguing to me, is the one in your backyard.
The Washington Wizards?
No. The Charlotte Hornets. By the way, Washington Wizards interested in DeMar DeRozan? What are you guys doing over there?
Making winning moves.
Okay, all right. I'm going to leave it right there. The Charlotte Hornets, to me, are the most fascinating team. Because when we talked about it, like, everybody in Charlotte is upset that LaMelo Ball's gone. I'm looking at this roster, and I'm looking at the moves that they've made, and I'm thinking, man, I like this team. And I don't want to get over my skis because I did it last year with Orlando getting Desmond Bane. But I love their draft class, Christian Anderson Jr. and Hannes Steinbach. I love that they re-upped Kobe White. I like the addition of Naz Reid. I like that there's going to be more put on Brandon Miller's plate. You take all those threes that LaMelo was jacking, and now you got a couple more for Knueppel and a couple more for Brandon Miller, a couple more for Kobe White. They're young, and so I could see them having a really good regular season and then get exposed in the playoffs, the first round, have their learning experience. But man, the building blocks that they have and the depth that they have, I really think they feel, and I don't want to go too far here because I don't think they have a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they feel like a young OKC team or a young San Antonio team where a lot of young talent that I could see jiving together.
We're going to talk more about Philly because they have LeBron James. LeBron James' box office. All eyes are going to be on him for good reason. He's carried this league for 2 decades. Yep. Now, on the flip side, I do agree with you all about Charlotte being a very good, young, up-and-coming team. But like you just said, I don't know if they got the guy.
Yeah.
When I saw Wemby play, I knew the Spurs had the guy. I didn't know they would be this good this quickly. I'm like, nah, he's the guy. By the time I watched SGA play by about the second or third year in OKC, I'm like, he's the guy. He's the guy. Charlotte, I think they've improved. I think that Miller's going to take a step up. Knueppel's going to take a step up. I'm not sure if either one is the guy. I'm going to wait and see.
Agreed.
I think Kobe White was a great addition at the trade deadline last year. And I love the fact they got bigger. Mm-hmm. They were a small ball club. I had to call one of their games. I was out there. I'm looking at Bayamute inside. I'm looking at him. No, not Bayamute. Diabate. I'm looking at Diabate like, man, he about 6'8", 6'9". Hey, what up, little fella? Like, I'm looking at Miles Bridges. I'm like, man, he about 6'7". Like, now you're going out there and you got a guy like Hans Steinbach, who, if you don't know, led college basketball in rebound, about 12 rebounds a game, 6'10". Yeah. Great in the pick and roll game. When he sets a pick and roll, he can catch, bounce, get to a shot, make that pass. Boom. You got another 6'10" guy in Naz Reid, able to catch and shoot from the corner, top of the key, put it on the floor, got in and outs and can score. Well, they got 2 6'10" dudes now that can play to go along with their guards. And let's not forget, they also picked up, what's Buddy's name they picked up from Duke? Grayson Allen. No, not Dorian. Grayson Allen.
Oh, Grayson Allen. Yeah.
Grayson Allen averaged 7.
Nice, great pickup. Great pickup.
Great, underrated pickup. Grayson Allen averaged 17 points per game last year. Now, y'all making me talk good about a Duke guy, so you know he can really play. Hey, forget all the leg kicks and stuff that people don't like about Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen can boogie. So when I look at
all that's been overplayed.
Yeah,
he had a couple incidents way back.
people never forget. But I'm just saying that's what a lot of people think of first and foremost. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the Charlotte Hornets made a lot of moves that I think will contribute to winning. I could see them being a team that makes a step up. And if one of those young guys goes from young star to superstar, then they really got something.
Agreed. But here's the thing that I think people are forgetting. Philadelphia won 45 games last year. Mm-hmm. Charlotte won 44. Mm-hmm. Like, I have far more reason to look at Charlotte and go, you know what? They could get to 50. I don't know, just because of the availability and how the pieces are going to fit together and the learning curve that Philadelphia has, because whereas I see the Hornets pieces fitting together, I have questions about how Philadelphia is going to fit together. I have questions about their depth. I mean, Embiid or LeBron misses games. People forget. They had Quentin Grimes. They had Andre Drummond. They had Kelly Oubre Jr. Paul George was like a super 3-and-D guy in the playoffs. They lost a lot of pieces that contributed to that 45 wins, and you have some things to figure out. And I don't think that's hating. That's just realistically looking at not being starry-eyed over the big names that they got and the talent. If this was on paper, if this was fantasy league, you'd say, man, they're ready to cook. Game's not played on paper. It's chemistry. It's how do you fit together? And now you have these amazing expectations of they're supposed to play for a title. That doesn't help, right? Because if things go a little bit sideways, now the criticism is going to come out. And then chances are there's going to be some finger pointing. So I think there's as good a chance of Philadelphia taking a step back as there is a step up. All right, enough on them.
Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned Miami. How good do you think Miami can be as constituted? Because obviously there's the hole with shooting, but maybe people are sleeping a little bit on Giannis.
I think they can win 2 rounds.
They can win 2 rounds. So that means they could go to the conference finals.
Depending on the matchups. Depending on the matchups, what they do.
Wow.
Well, they have a bunch of really good defensive players. When you look at that defensive front line, Wiggins, Giannis, bam, defense. And all those guys can get it done offensively. Davion Mitchell at the point guard position. That's a lot of defense. Now, the question is, where's the go-to guy?
Yeah, that's a big question. We're talking playoffs.
But that's why I said it's about matchups. It's about the matchup. Like, if they get matched up with a young Hornets team, and then they get, you said, what do I think they can possibly win 2. I don't think they can make the jump. I don't think they're a championship contending team just yet. But what if I had to bet on it?
So what, they're like Cleveland last year?
Yes, they could win 1, maybe 2, but it really is matchup based. You know, like they gotta play a team where their defense can ring out and take control of the series. Because if they gotta play a series where it's going to be determined by the last 4 to 5 minutes, they're going to lose. They ain't got that guy.
Yeah.
They don't have the guy. They don't have what Jaylen Brunson was to the Knicks. This is why I love Jaylen Brunson. Jaylen Brunson in some of those games in the finals wasn't playing very good for the first couple of quarters. And then it's the last 5 minutes, and he's like, it don't matter. I don't even see that. I don't even see them first 3 quarters. Miami don't have that. You need that. OKC won the previous year. When that game, I don't care what's going on. Shai Gilgeous felt confident getting to his spots, pump fake, doing whatever he got to do. You need that guy. Giannis ain't that guy. Bam ain't that guy. And so that's why I don't feel like Miami is a championship contender, but I do think they got enough defensive players. I have enough confidence in Spo and that coaching staff that they are going to be a tough out. That's why I said I could see them winning 2, but I really see them winning 1. But I could see them possibly winning 2 playoff series.
Because of that absence of a go-to guy, I'm surprised we're not hearing more about DeMar DeRozan possibly being in Miami.
Yeah, you would think that they would be trying to get DeMar DeRozan or...
I mean, he's not the perfect fit, but he's as close as you're going to get on the open market right now.
He'd be better for them. I'm like, yo, can they make a trade for Zach LaVine? Like,
yep.
They need to be in there on one of these, distressed assets that might be good for them. That's why I thought LeBron would be a good fit for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Because, hey, man, like, the guy can still play. Coming down the stretch of a game, I got more faith in him making decisions than anybody on their current roster.
Making decisions, but LeBron in that role is best when he has shooters around him. I mean, you got Giannis on the roll or you got Bam on the roll, but at this stage of LeBron's career, I don't like him as the go-to guy unless I got floor spacers and I can let him go one-on-one.
I agree. It was just one of those situations where they don't have a guy that I trust in the last 5 minutes. Of course, it would be ideal if he had great shooting. I'm just saying, like, when I look out there, the last 5 minutes of a close ball game, I don't trust Giannis.
Yeah,
I don't trust Bam. They're gonna have to prove that they can do that.
The other part of that is they don't have a whole lot of assets. It's not like you can look at them and say, well, they can make a deal somewhere along the line. They can see what they have. I mean, anything that they would trade would diminish them defensively. Like the picks aren't there, the young talent that you could turn around. That's where I think Miami is stuck. And again, that's why I think a DeMar DeRozan at this stage, I think he fits their culture. I think he's a hardworking pros pro, and they give him his best chance of playing meaningful basketball at this point in his career. Right. So I'm surprised by that. All right, let's move to the Western Conference, because I've seen on social media people saying, you know, this is the power of LeBron. He goes to Philadelphia, and now everybody's talking about Philadelphia. Nobody's talking about the Lakers. And so I thought we should look at what the Lakers are now, because they've added so many pieces. Obviously, Kessler Walker was the big piece. What are the
Lakers right now?
What's that?
What you said, what the Lakers are right now, what are they?
Well, that's what I'm asking. That's why I'm
asking you, what are they?
No. If I wanted to answer that question, I would have done it on my solo show. I brought it to your table. I brought it to your plate. I'm uncertain what they are. That's why I wanted to bring it up. They're still putting the building blocks in place. I think that they are still going to be relevant. I still think they're a playoff team. My question is, you've invested so much money in Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves and Walker Kessler. Like, what's your ability to improve from here? That's what concerns me. Do I think that they could have the same record as they had last year? Yes, I do. I do. Do I think that they could...
How many games did they win last year?
I'd have to... I should have had that right at the top of my list.
I don't know.
They won 53 games last year.
I'm just saying, I don't know if this gentrified version of the Los Angeles Lakers can win 55
Gentrified. Ooh, good word.
I don't know if that version of these Lakers can win that many games.
Are you telling me with Luka and Austin healthy, you know what their record was?
What was it?
Their record was damn good. They came out of the gate like 10-2, 10-3, and then and there's no guarantee that those guys are going to stay healthy, because they haven't. But let's say they do, since we're talking about other teams and taking the glass half full approach. Let's say they do. I don't think 53 wins is out of the question at all. As a big, looking at Luka and Austin, do you see the ability of Walker Kessler to live up to his contract and be what they believe he can be?
Yes. I mean, when you bring Walker Kessler in there, you know you're not bringing in Shaq. You're bringing in a guy that's a rim roller, rim protector. You're looking for him to maybe average between 17 to 13 points per game, be a double-digit rebounder and a shot blocker. He's going to live off of shots that are created for him. He's not going to do much creating on his own, but he's very good at that. Yeah. So I think Walker Kessler can walk in there and be 17, 12, and 3. Yo, your lighting is crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
I think
killing
that,
me.
Yeah,
it's killing our viewers too.
Yeah, but I think that he could be 17, 12, and 3. Now, what does that mean for the Lakers? I don't know. Both of their stars not being defensive players is going to hurt them. I think a guy like Rui Hachimura was very underrated for what he was to that team last year. I think they're solid, but I think they funny money. Like, when I look at their team, I don't really love them. I think, like I said, I don't love them like I love OKC. I don't love this team the same way that I like.
I mean, let's face it. OKC and San Antonio, I feel, and the Knicks are in a completely different category from everybody else.
Even a team that stumbled last year, like I like Denver better than them. I just think that I'm not really sure what the Lakers are. I won't write them off, though, because I have the ultimate respect for what Luka does on offense.
Yeah.
Luka is an offensive machine. It's kind of like when I was talking about Paolo, like, yo, if you're going to be good enough to dominate the ball, you got to be a certain level of good. That's Luka. He can go for 40 or he can get 20 assists. He is a special player with the ball in his hands. So I think that Luka has that. I think Luka has that type of skill set, and I think the Lakers, they'll go as far as their offense carries them. They're going to have to be an offensive team. I don't like their moves for the future. They don't have a lot of picks. So this squad that they have now kind of just got to get it done.
For our viewers that where the flashing is bothering them, because it's bothering me too, let's just imagine that I'm doing the show from a club, okay? Can we do that?
Me imagining you in the club right now is hurting my mind.
Probably hurting a lot of people out there.
Hey,
their minds too. I just wanted to throw it out there.
You in the club, in the middle of the club with your golf flannel on. Man, ain't nobody going for that, man.
Golf flannel? What? I'm not wearing a golf flannel.
Or whatever it is, man. Hey, man.
You don't like that?
No, I like it. Not for the club.
That's a solid look, bro.
It's a great look for Rick Bucher. It is great
Rick Bucher in his studio.
Yeah, and when my wife says something, when I say something, my wife don't really agree with it. She's like, I like that for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you like that? She's like, I like that for you.
That's right. That's right. That works for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that shirt. I like that shirt for you. You know what I'm saying? But not for the club. No, absolutely not.
Understood. I'm not in. Okay. All right. I was trying something.
You tried.
Denver feels to me, particularly with talk of trading Peyton Watson or moving.
They're not trading him. They bet not. They bet not. They bet not.
Well, how can they afford him? They got to move something.
They bet. Hey, listen. Well, right now, I don't know if he's going to get the money he wants on the open market, because the type of money he wants is going to force any team into the second apron. No one wants to go there.
Yep. Understood.
Hey, the NBA, it's official. They officially have a hard cap. They ain't calling it that, but the NBA officially has a hard cap. And these free agents, they feeling the burn from the hard cap right now.
Yep. And I don't know if I said it to you, but I can't help but feel that the hard cap that we're looking at now is from the last two CBAs, is ownership in the league clawing back the player empowerment that LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and all of the free agents in 2010, led by LeBron, created. That,
man, you gonna try to blame LeBron for everything, man? Come on, man.
I credit him for that. He turned the league on its head. He had the owners dancing to the players' tune. We'd never seen that before, and we've seen it since. But you know team owners as well as I do, man. They don't like to have to cater to other people. They like to be catered to.
What do you mean other people?
Oh, you are kid. Wow. With friends like you,
I asked this
trying no. Every opportunity to get me into trouble.
I'm trying to get the show.
Brendan, you know the business well enough. Somebody's going to clip the 12 seconds. What do you mean by other people?
My bad. I'm sorry.
Wrong. So wrong.
I'm sorry. I can be childish.
All right. We're moving on. First, it was my shirt. I could deal with the shirt.
Oh, my goodness.
Who do you like more, Lakers or Rockets?
You know what? If you're telling me they got Fred VanVleet healthy, give me the Rockets. Even though, sometimes I'm looking at the Rockets, but I'm hoping Fred VanVleet is steadying them at the point. I like the addition of Marcus Smart. Steven Adams being back, I think, will help as well, depending on how healthy he is. When we talk about the Thompson twin, I think that he brings that, hopefully he can shoot it a little bit better. And KD is just amazing, man. At this advanced age, he makes going out there scoring 27, 28 points per game still look easy. Still look easy. So if I had to pick between Houston and the Lakers, I think I would go with Houston. I think they have a little bit more of a defensive component. KD is still that guy. Maybe Thompson and Tari Eason and Sengun, those young players, they ascend a little bit. I think I like where Houston is.
Do you give any credence or would you give any value to them adding Marcus Smart to the equation?
Yes, I think Marcus Smart is a really good veteran. I think he can play defense. I think that he's been in playoff battles. He can help.
I thought he was valuable to the Lakers last year.
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's just one of those guys that I think, I'm not saying they're going to win because of Marcus Smart,
right?
But you get in the playoff series and you'll be like, yo, there was 3 or 4 plays in a couple of really close games that Marcus Smart made that helped this team win. He's one of those type guys. Him
coming off the bench and giving you 15, 20 minutes as the backup point guard, I think could be incredibly valuable.
Solid, tough as nails, good leader. I like Marcus Smart for that team.
You also have Steven Adams is expected back, and I think that they missed him in a big way.
Yes.
This is going to be an interesting year for coaches. Ime Udoka I don't want to say on the hot seat, but I think people want to see what he does after it felt as if he got out-coached by J.J. Redick in the first round last year. And I would also say there's some pressure on J.J. Redick. Okay, we've turned the page. Now what are you going to do with all these new pieces? Because it was kind of the team that he acquired was sort of baked in with LeBron. And then you add Luka, and that was a big switch. But still, you have players that are kind of running the show to a certain extent. You just got to make the pieces fit around them. Now I feel as if, okay, now it's the Luka show. Now you have all these new elements. Can you do what was done in Dallas with Luka? And I would say, as much as you dismissed the coaching change in Orlando, I want to see if Sean Sweeney can convince Paolo Banchero, hey, we need you to play this way in order for us to be successful. I know Sean is a defensive-oriented coach, but can they find a way to convince Paolo that you need to be a different player? That conversation should have already been had going into the offseason if it's going to have any effect. I just see there's a number of coaches in a number of instances that we're going to find out who's able to take the pieces that he's given and elevate them to something, or are they going to fall back? And I would say with Mr. Lee in Charlotte, same thing. We have a lot of coaches that how they handle these teams is going to have a big influence. Nick Nurse in Philadelphia. I mean, go look everywhere, right? Joe Mazzulla in Boston. I am convinced that one of the reasons why they felt comfortable moving Jaylen Brown is the confidence, obviously, in Jason Tatum, but also in Joe Mazzulla to get the most out of this team, out of the Boston team. Because they're probably going to take a step back. They did this for financial reasons. They did this so that the front office wouldn't be locked up in terms of being able to make moves, or have a flexible roster. But in between, the expectations don't change, and they think that Joe Mazzulla can carry the water.
Carry the water left by Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
Well, why would they think that?
Because of what he did last year without Jason Tatum and all of the complementary pieces that came in. Neemias Queta was not a made man. We go down the list of the guys. Peyton Pritchard played a much bigger role. Derek White played a bigger role. He had a number of guys that were totally unproven, had never been starters before. And he had them as one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference during the regular season. They got exposed in the postseason. And I would say in part because Jaylen Brown wasn't all that we made him out to be because of what he did in the regular season and what he had done playing with a more talented team with Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Jason Tatum.
That's what you thought?
That was my takeaway from the Boston Celtics season last year, was that Joe Mazzulla coached them up during the regular season, but then when they got to the postseason, that lack of pure talent was exposed, and Jaylen Brown, as the ultimate go-to guy to carry them, was exposed as well. Paul George, look at the last 3 games of the series. Paul George damn near played him even.
Yeah, but when you watch the games, when I saw Jaylen Brown getting down the lane, like if I think back to Game 7, he was getting them corner three after corner three. Those guys were just missing shots. I mean, you brought up Derek White. Derek White shot 39% on the season and 32% from three. Then also, they were playing a certain way, and then Jason Tatum came back, and then they were forced to play a different way, and then Jason Tatum couldn't play in Game 7. So when I look at it, I don't look at them and say, Jaylen Brown just couldn't get them over the hump. I see this was the first time Jaylen Brown has been in that position since he was a freshman at Cal, and he thrived. When you go look at the shots, I'm talking about wide open shots in the corner. Like from good shooters. What's I can't think, you just named the guy with the 6 man of the year? I can't think of his name right now.
Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard, yes. Peyton Pritchard, I just remember him being wide open. I'm thinking this is cash.
Sam Hauser, same thing.
Same thing. So when I look at Jaylen Brown, I sometimes don't look at the results. I look at how the game played out. And down the stretch of that game, he got them good shots. They just didn't make them.
Okay, but I felt like his focus was all offense, and he shot a ton of threes that he was not making. Well, I just look. I do not, by any stretch of the imagination, want to put it all on him. But I think that we had a vision of him because of what he did in the regular season, and as we talk about all the time, you get to the playoffs and getting it done in the playoffs, it's different. Teams have an opportunity to kind of dial in and force you to go to plan B, C, D, and E.
It's definitely different, and this was his first time dealing with that. And so, I think that was unique, but then he also had Jason Tatum back, and then Tatum was hurt, and so that played a part. But the biggest thing is this. I love Joe Mazzulla as a coach. I think he's solid. I think he's very good. But when I watch a game, I don't think that Joe Mazzulla is going to be able to coach around the fact that probably one of the premier two-way players in the league is no longer on his roster. Jaylen Brown is a guy that can go out there and average 30 and then go check the guy on the other team that averages 30. Mm-hmm. When Boston ain't hitting threes, I don't ever see Joe Mazzulla call a play and they do nothing different. So this I don't, and I think Joe Mazzulla can coach, but when we say, yeah, they believe that he can coach around Jaylen Brown not being there, I'm going to be like, I believe that when I damn well see it.
Hey, to be clear, me too. That's what I'm saying though.
If the three ball ain't falling, Boston going home every time, 99% of the time. That's just how they play. They're like a hitter that only can hit the fastball. They ain't worried about nothing but the fastball. You throw a curve, they ain't adjusting. They just waiting on the fastball.
Hey, they won a championship doing it.
And listen, they were waiting on the fastball. But a couple of years against Golden State, they got a curveball, they lost. Yep. Last year, they got a curveball, they lost. Every once in a while, when that fastball come down the pipe, you can knock it out the park. But when they get thrown a curveball, they don't adjust to that pitch.
I agree with all that. My whole point was,
thank you.
Boston did what they did because of their belief in Joe Mazzulla.
Well, we shall
based on what he did last year. Now, whether he can replicate that, how vital Jaylen Brown was that's the beauty of this upcoming season. There's going to be a referendum on so many players and teams and coaches and what they're doing, in large part because they're all dealing with a hard cap. Like, you're really squeezed in terms of, okay, how good are the people that we have?
I'm just saying right now the chat's rolling with me. They cooking you in there. You know what I'm saying? I see you, chat. The chat
you know what? I made the mistake of not having the chat.
I'm a man of the people. I'm reading the chat's like, listen, man. So the chat know what's up. When Boston ain't hitting threes, they going home. I see you, chat.
Well, I know that.
The chat knows I'm the people's champion. I'm a man of the people. I'm reading the comments.
You're pushing that so hard. We're going to have to wrap up the show.
Okay, that's a good way to end. The people's champ is ready for the show to end.
Just last question. So you got the Houston Rockets finishing above the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes.
Both regular season and playoffs.
Yes. If KD's healthy, yes.
Okay. All right.
I honestly think if KD was healthy, they would have won in the first round last year.
I think you're right, and that's why I wanted to bring the Rockets up, because I would say that getting upset by the Lakers last year is what has prompted a lot of people to dismiss the Rockets, and they didn't really add anything other than Marcus Smart during the offseason. But I think getting Fred VanVleet back, getting Steven Adams back, if Kevin is healthy, I think they could be what we expected them to be last season, both playoffs and regular season.
They are who we thought they are.
Yeah, well, we shall see. Ultimately, we shall see. All right. Hey, we made it through. How are your eyeballs?
My eyeballs are good. No thanks to your camera, but you know what? I'll just wear some sunglasses for the rest of the day.
Yeah, for all of our viewers out there, thank you for joining us. I promise. If nothing else, I will be trying a different camera for the next show so that
I think that's why the chat was rolling with me, because my camera was better than yours. The people's champ, the man of the people. I'm reading the comments. I see what y'all saying out there. The people's champ is back, baby.
Maybe I need to get the strobe light or the crystal ball.
All right, man.
I need to get rid of that.
Wrap it up. No strobe light for you. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
All right. I want to thank all of you who are listening to the audio version. Please rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. For those who are watching the live version here with us, thank you for joining us. And for those who are watching the recording, on the United WeCast channel, please leave comments as to whether you agree with Brendan or not about anything. And my shirt, I'm going to leave it right there. No other disagreements that we had. But in the meantime, we will do it again next week. Thanks for joining us. See ya.